Yes, we are live. Good morning, our Alliance
Good
Movement
morning.
people. Hi, I'm here with Nigina, and today we are going to work on that business plan. Okay, because I think that without a business plan, or without even a plan for anything, you're actually planning to fail.
Exactly.
Before we even talk to Nigina, I just wanted to go over a few things with you guys. And I think some of us that have been with the group before we became EXP probably heard this, but I wanted to discuss. I'm going to wear my glasses. The 6 golden rules for our business plan. All right. So it says that 95% of your success is the reason why you're doing it. Desire ignites your subconscious mind, and your subconscious mind determines your results. So the other 5% is how you do it. If your why is big enough, the how is usually easier. All right, so number one, let's set goals that motivate us. When we set goals for ourselves, it's important that they motivate us. It means that we want to make sure that they are important to us and that there is value in us achieving them. If you really have little interest in the outcome or they are irrelevant given the larger picture, then the chances of you putting in the work to make them happen are really slim. Good morning, everybody. Motivation is key to achieve goals. All right. And number two, set smart goals. You remember what they are, Nigina?
Yeah, so they will be specific,
Yeah.
measurable, attainable,
Let's
relevant,
go with S.
and
S
time
stands for
sensitive, I
specific.
guess.
Go ahead. Go ahead. Go
Yeah.
back over S, specific goals.
Yes. M for measurable, A for attainable, R for relevant, and T for time. So they should be time sensitive. You should
Yes.
have like a deadline to achieve it, I believe.
Yeah. So let me go over quickly like the set specific goals. Okay, like your goals must be clear and defined. Something like I want to be super rich. Very nice thought, but not
Sure.
clear and defined. It's vague and generalized. So those aren't helpful because they don't provide sufficient direction. Remember that you need goals to show you the way. So you make it easy as you can to get to where you want to go by defining precisely where you want to end up. All right. So measurable, that includes like a precise amount. All
Numbers,
right.
yeah.
Huh?
Numbers that we're gonna go through today.
Yes, which is great. Okay. If your goal is just defined as to reduce expenses, how will you know that you have been successful? Like if a month time you've had 1% reduction, or in 2 years time when you have a 10% reduction without a way to measure, and Nigina is absolutely right, you miss out on the celebration that comes with knowing that you actually achieve something. And then
Yeah.
we go into attainable goals. Attainable.
So I
All
would say
right.
realistic.
Yes. And that's something that you have actually the hope of attaining.
Yep.
And right, something that is not crazy big, that in the, while you're trying to achieve it, you're losing confidence and you're losing hope in achieving it because it's crazy. All
Yep.
right. So it doesn't mean also that you shouldn't be working hard for your goal, right? You should be working hard for it, but it has to be realistic yet challenging. That's the good part.
For sure.
And then relevant goals. You want to tell us how you see that, Kinigina?
Well, I mean, like, I don't know. I'll do a crazy example. Let's say if a man wants to go to the moon, he's like, okay, by end of this year, I'm gonna go to the moon, and then he has no experience whatsoever, and he's not trained to. So in 1 year, it is very unrealistic and crazy, I would say.
Right.
And if it's a person who specializes, let's say like us in real estate, and the person says, "Hey, I want to close 20 transactions this year," it is attainable because he does have the real estate license for that today.
Absolutely right. That's great.
I
And
mean,
then the
I don't
last
know if
one.
that works, but
Yeah,
that's the first thing that came to mind.
that's great. I think it's a great example. The next one is set time bound goal. right? So this one, I know you also have, they have to have like a deadline. That's very simple, right? You need to know that, like you put a deadline, you say, okay, next year at that time we'll be celebrating that success because we'll be there. And I know, Nigina, you have some of those.
Yeah.
All right. So what was it on my little list? Yes, number 3 in that list of 6 golden rules. And actually we'll share that with you guys on Facebook. We'll have all the documentation we'll share with you. So you'll have the 6 golden rules for successful business planning, the actual business plan, and a little general 2021 calendar will explain to you how to use that. All right, so number 3, set goals in writing. So the actual physical act of writing down goals makes it really real and tangible. Like you have no excuse for forgetting about it. As you write, you use the word will instead of would like or might. For example, I will reduce my expenses by 10% this year, or I will actually achieve an income of $175,000 in net commission this year. So the first goal statement has a power, and you can see yourself like reducing these expenses or actually achieving that income goal. All right. If you just put down I would like to, that sort of lacks passion. It lacks even willingness to do it. It's like up in the air. All right. And then number 4 is make an action plan. Right? How do you see that, Nigina, the action plan? I'm just asking you goals. Yeah.
I think every day should have an action plan. So it's like a to-do list for every day. But if you're planning the whole year as a whole, you have a bigger goal to achieve.
Yeah.
Make an income of 175,000, like you said. What it takes to do that.
Right.
As a real estate agent, how many closed deals would that take? How many appointments? How many leads? How many
phone calls,
sales, phone calls,
contacts. Yes, so those little steps, the little steps that you need to take every day is actually will make you reach your goal. So it's right. It's like a map you want to follow, you know, with different action steps to take along the way. And then number 5 is work on your skills. So having or developing experience is par for the course. So whether you're a new agent, a veteran, improving your skills every year and looking for new ways to become more efficient in your activities, that contributes to your success. It's not always about making money. Well, it is, but still, you're considered successful if you can find new ways to achieve the same results, but in shorter, more efficient time frame. So allow yourself to grow through learning and implementing new strategies. So new agent, experienced agent, 250 years experienced agent like myself, it doesn't matter. Like we need to work on our craft. And number 6, this one is really important, is stick with it. Like remember, goal setting, it's an ongoing activity. And I'm guilty of it because you're going to work on your goal setting. The first quarter of the next year, you're like really at it and you really mean well. And then by April 15, when it's like season, you totally forgot about it. So just like the goal setting is an ongoing activity to the end, not the first quarter. All right. Remind yourself to keep yourself on track. I know we had an agent that was pretty good at it, and I think Lisa Gracia, and I hope one day we can have her on this broadcast, was pretty good as going back over our goals and so on and so forth. So our end destination may remain quite similar over the long term, but the action plan that we set for ourselves along the way, that can change significantly. So like you have a plan, but sometimes you need to readjust your actions because you might go back, you might go ahead, and so on and so forth. All right, so we want to make sure that the relevance of those goals remain really clear, the value necessity of the goals remain high throughout the goal setting period and until you achieve them. Actually, so I know I don't want to spend too much time on just talking about the rules for setting the business plan, setting your goals. We're going to have that attached to our to that Facebook posting. We'll also attach it on our WhatsApp group as well, so you'll have all the documents. Let's take a look at that business plan and see what it looks like. Let me just share my screen with you guys. 1 second. Is my application window? Yes, here you go. All right, so this is a business plan. You guys saw it probably last year. We've been, do you see it, Nigina? Is it clear on the screen?
I see it.
Okay, let me make sure I have you. It's great. All right. So I just wanted to make sure that the numbers are relevant. So I went over all the listings that were sold within our EXP organization in MLS, and the average sales price was very close to $500,000 per transaction on an average. So it was about $498 and $720 or $730 and change, and I rounded up to $500,000. Same thing. An average side, commission side, whether it's the listing side or the selling side, is about 2%. So it was like really close to 2%. So I rounded it up to be very positive at 2%. It was right a little bit under 2%. And then we're having our split, the agent split at 80%. From that $10,000 is about $8,000 until we cap, and then you back at 100% for the rest of the year. So each transaction would be an average of $10,000. So I kept a earning goal of about $140,000 per year, just to try to keep the number easy to understand. All right. So $140,000 in earning goals, that means 10 transactions, meaning it's either a buyer side, a listing side, a transaction, whatever you call it in contract. That's $8,000. That's your 2% commission average at $10,000 minus your the split with the company until you cap. And then that would mean 6 additional transactions at 100%, 16 transactions. So for anyone that is on a team, I think the numbers would work a little bit differently, but the math is not that complicated. I'm sure you can do it yourself. And if you can't, you can please contact your, your upline, myself, and we'll make sure that we help you with those numbers. All right, then it says, since taking more listings is the recipe for success in real estate, the ratio should be 60% listing takens versus 40% buyer sales. So ideally, in that scenario, you should sell about 10 listings and have 6 buyer sales for that year. If you look at the number, 16 transactions in 12 months is actually not unattainable. It is pretty attainable, I guess, even for a brand new agent. So 5-4 on that third line. That means that for every 5 listing that we'll take, you'll sell 4. Meaning that you're going to put 5 listings on the market, and 4 of them will actually be closed. 1 of them will either be withdrawn or expired, or for some whatever reason, contract canceled, and nothing else happened. So therefore, to sell 10 listings, you'll need to take about 13 listings. And I made this, again, very optimistic, with larger ratios, but it's pretty much that. 2-to-1. This ratio means that for every 2 listing appointments you go on to, you list 1. Then this is really meaning you're not very good at getting listings, so you have a 50% chance of getting listings. So 2 listing appointments, you'll get 1. Hopefully that's none of us. So therefore, to take 13 listings, I'll correct this, you'll need to go on 26 appointments. And then we have this ratio of 10-1. So this ratio means that for every 10 leads, a lead is a person that wants to buy or sell within the next 30 days. And this is in the Mike Ferry training philosophy. So every 10 leads that you generate, you get an appointment. And that varies to different agents. Those that are really good would be able to book an appointment every six leads. Let's say those leads are really super qualified, and somebody really good at doing prospecting will be able to generate more appointments per lead. Therefore, to book those 26 attended appointments, meaning the seller is there at the house waiting for you and show you the house. So you'll need to generate 260 leads. So those numbers are getting bigger. And then we have these other lines, 12-1. And that means that for every 12 people you talk to, and those are contacts, somebody you're going to call over the phone, and they're going to tell you hello, and you're going to start talking, and they're just going to tell you, I'm not interested. Those are contacts, okay? And whether you're having a full-blown conversation or not, at the minute you're having a slight conversation with you, hello, this is Gigi, I'm with the Experience team, not interested, that is a contact. Okay, so therefore, to generate 260 leads, you'll need 3,120 contacts. So you take those 260 leads and multiply them by 12. Okay, so based on the fact that you should take about 4 weeks of vacation this year, 1 per quarter, that leaves 11 months of business left in the year. And also there are approximately 20 working days in a month. That means no weekend. Well, it's always wishful thinking, but let's say you're going to work 5 days a week and take 2 days off. And that leaves 220 days for the year. Okay, 11 months times 20. So when then you're going to take back those contacts, 3,120 contacts, and divide them into 220 working days. And that approximates 14 contacts per day. And in our book, that equates to about 2 hours of daily prospecting to achieve 140,000 in earning this year. So good agents would get about 10 contacts per hour. I think an average agent would get 6-7 contacts per hour. So in order to achieve this $140,000 income goal, you need to get on the phone and prospect, whether it's expired, whether it's for sale by owner. If you wanted to, now that we can resume cold calling in January, let's pray a little bit to the God of real estate, we'll be able to do cold calling, for just sold, just listed, call your sphere, and so on and so forth. All right, so that was just about the numbers. And we'll have a couple of questions just to put in consideration. What is your why? Why do I want to or need to accomplish my income goal? What and who motivates me to do so? And we'll discuss that with Nigina. 3 things I like to have this year, like major things that are important for you to get. It doesn't mean you're going to want a Chanel bag, something probably a little bit more deeper than that. 3 places we'd like to go to this year. Let's say this whole coronavirus thing is over, COVID-19 is under control, and maybe we can go places. So in the best of world, 3 places we'd like to go, because it's important to see the world, to go see family. And then how would it make me feel to accomplish this goal? That's a very important thing to actually envision, the feeling you have when you actually reach your goal. All right. And we'll go back over the business plan, transaction goals, income goals for next year. Your income goal, the number of closed deals you're going to need, the number of listing appointments, listing taken goal, listing sold goal, buyer sales, goal of hours worked per week, goals of days worked per week, your prospecting goals, how many hours and how many contacts, and then all those numbers that you need to achieve those goals, listing to appointments taken, listing sold, buyer sales versus listing sold, prospecting per days, contact per hours. And then now the action plan, where is your business coming from? Is it coming from farming, from any type of paid advertising, Zillow, referral, usual prospecting, cold calling, expired, your sphere? Okay. And also, next one is really important. What are the three main reasons that could prevent me from meeting my income goal? Because let's face it, a lot of things somebody sometimes thinks, or even ourselves, prevent ourselves from meeting our goals. And the last one would be, what do I need to meet my production goal? Do I need probably better time management? Do I need to hire a coach? Do I need to work on my listing presentation? So on and so forth, okay? And then we'll discuss attraction goals, because it's also nice to be able to attract agents. How many agents do you want to attract in 2021? Your lead source could be co-brokes, industry event when we're able to go back in public. And again, the challenges that you need to solve or improve so you can attract better. Implement a recruiting schedule. Use actually that Freedom Friday to make phone calls to agent. Know what to say, better follow up, or just even start doing it. So all those things are really, really important. All right. So I'm gonna give the mic to Nagina, and maybe we can go back over her. Do you see what's going on here? Yes, the agent business plan. Do you want to share with us what your
Sure. So the first page is what is my why? So let's start with that.
Let's start with the big things before we talk stock number.
A lot of times people say, is your why strong enough to achieve your goal? And you mentioned it yourself too. So if it's not strong enough, then probably we need to work deeper into the why you want to achieve what you want to achieve, not just because, hey, I want to be rich and famous, but how's it going to make you feel at the end of the day once you achieve that? Because we keep on getting, and as human beings, I guess the more we get, the more we want, so it never stops.
Right.
But what does it take for you to not just stop, but be happy with what you have?
Right, but sometimes you have the why that is even beyond it's something that is beyond you, and it makes you go. And I know for me, my kids are grown, but as a single parent, that was my why. I really had no choice but to provide for those two children.
Yeah.
And I'm sure, you're starting out in life, you don't have kids yet, so I know your why is a little bit different. Do you mind sharing a little bit?
Okay, so first will be financial freedom. Why do I want that financial freedom? So I can have a peace of mind. Why do I want that peace of mind? Is so that I can just do what I want to do. I'm young. I have my whole life ahead of me. So I would like to actually do what makes me happy and not everyone else.
So we were digging with that a little bit earlier, and I think it's okay for you to share, because all those were good enough, but there was like, why is all this really in the end? And I think that why is really it's okay to share it, because it's a normal thing. Maybe you could
I'll
understand why you want that.
Yeah, so currently I've been in the country for 1 year. I live with my in-laws. I got married. I have lived with my parents my whole life, and now I live in the home of my husband's parents.
There you go.
So yeah, it's raw, and I'm just gonna be straightforward. I would like to have my own place, and I would like to live on my own schedule, wake up when I want, just go with the day like I would like to, without having to stick to someone else's schedule.
You're right. And you deserve it. And I think this is a big why.
I think everyone deserves it, because you have one life to live, and you gotta do what you want to do.
And as a young married couple, maybe you guys want to start actually your married life and have your own
Yeah,
privacy,
for sure,
and start working on your own personal goals.
for sure.
And yeah, and that's a total normal feeling. And it's nice to sometimes cut the cord and fly on your own. And
Yeah,
that's
I mean, I
great.
still want to explore. I want to travel, but given with COVID, it's a little limited. So
Yeah.
I just stuck with local travel, like things you'd like to have or do this year.
Yeah, let's talk about the things you wanted to have this year. I know you had a long list, but let's go over the three, four main ones. That would be good.
So things I'd like to have is basically buy my own property. Obviously, I would like to qualify something more, but I don't think I have enough history in this country to be buying a better property. But I'm gonna stick with about a property of up to 300, 400,000, let's say. On top of that, the other priority is to get your own car because as real estate agents, we have showings all around the city and we need to have easy access to that.
Yes. So,
Um,
so far you were telling me that you were
I'm
borrowing a
borrowing a
car
car. Yeah.
all
I
this
don't want
whole
to owe
year.
it to anyone. It's best to have your own for sure.
Yes, it is.
Um, Another thing is to invest in my family, my parents, my brothers. So I have three brothers. Second brother, first brother graduated, obviously, and second brother is 19 years old. He's not getting his degree yet. I would like to give back in the form of actually investing in his education the way my parents invested in mine. Right now,
Yeah.
they don't have that financial ability,
Right.
but
So your brother is not in this U.S. soil, and where he's at, there is
oh,
no
he's in
possibility.
Uzbekistan. So he
Right.
went back to Uzbekistan from Dubai. Um, my other brother is working in Dubai right now, and I have a baby brother who's like very young. He's still like not in school yet. He's like 6 years old. So,
Wow. Okay.
um, after I left my family, they have been investing more and focusing more on our family business. It was importing perfume from UAE or around the world into Uzbekistan. And this is the first time ever my mom is actually working. She has never worked in her life. She dedicated her whole life actually raising children, giving us the education, doing homework with us, and helping my brother become a pianist as well. So yeah, right now she's into it and she's learning more about social media. Oh, we see treat your goals like
I had to post that and share it with everybody because this is it doesn't say who it is. Unfortunately, let me see on my it says treat your goal like a tree. The money tree need
yeah.
water, sunlight, right temperature every day. When you eat, drink, dress up, thinking about your tree's need, take care of as part of you. And I thought it was illustrating really what you're talking about. And please go on. I have
Yeah.
to apologize. I didn't
So
mean.
yeah, like I said, I wanted to invest more in my parents' business as well to grow their stock selection and just move in that direction so that they have a growing business and they have something to provide the roof over the head, to put the food on the table, all those needs, and possibly more than just that, you know?
Yeah.
Uh, yeah, I mean, these are my top three priorities: giving back to my family and giving back to myself too to get a property or a car and both, obviously.
And all this is attainable. It's not
It
crazy.
is. It is realistic. It is completely realistic. I'm not saying I want to own a yacht or 5 yachts.
Yeah. Right. So there was also something. I know you're still young, so you want to see the whole world. So what are we narrowing down as
Yeah.
well? Because what is your bucket list goal this year?
Okay,
It's
so
not even.
places I'd
Right.
like to go this year. I have history with UAE and I have history with Uzbekistan. UAE is where I was brought up. Uzbekistan is where I'm from. Given with the COVID situation, I don't know if I'm going to be able to go, but if so, I would love to visit my family there. Otherwise, my top three places in the United States itself would be Arizona, Florida, and Michigan. That's where I have my family. But my initial goal was actually to travel to one state per month.
Yeah, write it down. You never
Yeah, I
know.
have it written down in front of me. But like you said, what are the top 3 places in the United States you'd like to go
Or
before
not
you go
necessarily in the
anywhere?
United States, outside of the States, the
Sure,
world, the planet.
that too.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
And so you said Arizona. We talked about the places you'd like to go. So we're gonna keep this um, very conservative this year due to the
sure.
situation.
Yeah.
And let's talk about how. What was the next question? How this would
So
make you? How would you feel if you were to achieve this goal?
So I think emotion is what drives our whys, and emotionally would make me happy at the end of the day. Success also makes us happy when we achieve things. It makes us want to achieve more.
Right.
And I think if every day I call people and then I get the yeses and the nos. At the end of the day, I feel like, hey, I have done something at least, and I have gotten my answers, and I'll take it from there and move forward with those leads or clients.
That's
Um,
good.
so emotionally, it would make me happy as it would allow me to travel without having to worry whether I have enough for tomorrow to cover all the bills.
Right.
So
And
in
I think to you, I'm probably gonna expand for you. I've been
sure,
listening to you. It's just like gonna remove that weight of having somebody else's look over your life, and it's like I think it's like you're gonna buy out your freedom. You're gonna be able to fly, on with your own wings,
for sure.
and not be under the rule of somebody else's. And I
Yeah,
think that's, yeah, that sense of
not having
freedom
to
and
feel like
relief.
you owe it to anyone, you know?
Yeah, that's great. All right. Do you want to talk about the?
Sure. Let's talk about production goals. Starting with income goal. I set an income goal of 150,000 for myself. To achieve that, it would take a lot of numbers. I will start from. Should I just go like 1, 2, or should I start from?
You can just, how many does it, how $150,000 for the next 12 months, the next year, that how many transactions would that be?
It would be 21 closed deals. So that's like not even 2 deals per month. 500,000 deals though.
Okay, yes. Okay.
And I even put down the sales volume, so that would be like about 10 million in sales.
Okay.
Yeah,
All
just to
right.
give an
And
idea.
that's at 2%. And you
That
probably
is at
could,
2% commission. Yes.
yes, and you probably could tweak those numbers, especially on the listing side of the business, where you're going to be able to get a little bit more commission for yourself. So again, that could be
Yeah.
attained with less transactions. Once you really know your numbers and what your how much commission you get on an average and how much commission you keep for yourself. But go ahead, go ahead.
Yeah, for sure. So I think 2% is very doable no matter how big transaction is.
Mhm.
Uh, so listing appointments, it would take me 32 listing appointments to get 16 listings. So it's
Right.
2 listing appointments, 1 listing, like you covered before.
Yes.
And that will be 8 buyer sales goals,
Okay.
goal hours per week. So the way we calculated it, I think you have broke it down before. It will be 12 and a half hours of prospecting only per
Okay.
week. And we can do 6 hours per day, 3 of which we do prospecting and 3 of which we do showing and other business related activities
For real estate, because I know you
for real
mentioned
estate.
that you
Yeah,
wanted to also run this other business, so you probably want to give
sure.
that a little bit of time. Okay. Um, and how many days per week you planning on working
Days
your
per
real
week, 5 days. I just went with the regular because even though you may have to work on weekends based on customer schedules, but I don't consider that as working. It's just like, I mean, sure, it is working, but it's something we have to do. You know,
Yeah.
you cannot say no to a buyer, especially if you're available.
Right. Okay.
Um, prospecting goal.
That was three. Yeah.
3,837 contacts per year will generate me 320 leads in
Mm-hmm.
total. So 320 leads are how many leads it will take for me to get 21 closed deals.
So you can divide that by, I don't know, it says 10 to 1, so
That will be 18 contacts per day.
yes,
Yeah.
that's good. So that would take
Mhm.
you about 2.5 hours, right,
Yeah.
to achieve it
Two
for
and a
now.
half hours of daily prospecting.
Okay. All
Um,
right. So you said how many are listings? So you would need 16 listings.
32, 32 to take 16 listings to sell 13.
Right.
So listing appointments 32, which will generate 16 listings, and I will only sell 13 out of 16.
Right. And then you do 8 buyer sales.
Buyer sales, yeah, and then
To 2.5 hours to 3 hours of prospecting per days, and you'll do about what, six, seven
three
contacts per hour.
three contacts per hour or so. If I am taking breaks in between,
Oh,
So
but that's, you want to do 6 hours of prospecting a day,
yeah.
so it's 3 contacts per
Oh,
hour.
okay. So if it's 18 contacts divided into three, then there would be 6 contacts.
Yeah, I think 3 is really low. Um, I think probably 6 contacts per hour would work. So I believe for that amount that you have, you would want to achieve a 3 hours. Like dedicate your morning 9 o'clock to 12 o'clock to prospecting.
Sure.
If those hour permits to, even, depending on time, where people, what time zone they are in, it would be good. 3 hours. Like dedicate your morning just to prospecting and generating leads, I think.
Yeah, I think that's a good plan.
Yeah. And then let's go to, where is that business coming from?
So right now I'm relying on Zillow, some
Okay.
referrals. I'm not doing cold calling as of yet, but I'm trying to get better at listing presentations so I can start cold calling. Sphere. So what I've been doing today, I'm actually in Appointment Academy with Seku, and I don't know if anyone knows him
Yes.
here who's watching us. Yeah. So at the same time, I have the Zoom call going with him. After this is done, I'm gonna get back to it. We are literally texting our Sphere saying that thank you for your trust with all your real estate needs or something like that. Just
Hmm.
random numbers, random text like this, and people have been getting phone calls back saying like, "Who are you? What are you texting me?" It's kind of crazy.
Okay,
Anyway,
but I'm sure you
that,
know.
that could that could get something. You don't have to make a phone call. It's just a text.
Right, but it's a way of generating a lead. Yeah, why
Yeah,
not?
for
Yeah,
sure.
yeah.
I don't know how realistic it is to generate leads from Instagram. So just have random people that are
I
following
think
you.
it's harder to quantify
Yeah, it is
the
very.
Instagram leads. I think this is why, like, straight from your contacts,
Mhm.
like the cold calling, it's easier to actually quantify. The people from your sphere, easier. General farming, more difficult. I'm not saying you shouldn't add it into your business, but like, the results, I'm sure you'll know better after a couple of years of marketing, or just farming a specific area. You'll have a better idea of the numbers, but from the get-go, it's very difficult to predict. All right, so let's move on.
Yeah.
What are the three main reasons, or the one main reason that could prevent you from
Well,
meeting?
procrastinating, of course, or just it's not easy working from home as people think. A lot of
We
times
talked about it. We
you
talked
could,
about the call from the fridge,
yeah,
the laundry,
the
the
laundry. I
dust
mean,
on the credenza, stuff like
you
that.
have so many distractions at home, and I gotta clean this up. I gotta get this in order. Oh, my
Yeah,
laundry and whatever.
yeah.
So I think sometimes it's okay to get out and do some work outside. I mean, as safe as we can be, of course.
Yeah.
But yeah, and I think my biggest issue is when I make a plan, I relatively do make a realistic plan, but I tend to not exactly ever stick with it. and when I do, it is very,
I
very
think you're going to stick with it because I think your
good.
why is
Pretty strong.
it's pretty strong.
Yeah.
I would say so. I
I
think
like
you
daily
wanting a
daily
life of
tasks.
your own is a big one, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
yeah, go ahead.
I think getting out of the house would help me focus more because when you're working around people, you don't want to look awkward in a coffee shop, so you're just gonna do work. You're not
Hmm.
gonna just sit there and stare at everyone. You got no laundry to do in the coffee shop. So,
Right.
next,
Yes.
what do I need to meet my production goals? So I am new here with the EXP. I am new to the CRM system and KV Core. So my first thing would be to master KV Core campaigns and the whole CRM system.
Okay.
Um, Obviously, plan my days more effectively and efficiently and stick to the plan.
Right.
Work
And
on my
you're gonna stay in the appointment academy. I hope so.
Yes, for sure. It's 5-day commitment. It
Hmm.
starts at 8, ends at 12, 2:30 or something.
Okay.
Um, so yeah, it's just planning, mastering KV Core, and working on listing presentations.
That's
Those
good.
would
That's
be
good.
my 3 top production goals for the year. I don't think I need a marketing budget as of now. I gotta work with whatever's provided to us free at EXP already. And
Okay.
then
That's
if I
fair.
feel like I really need to, I will definitely do it. Um,
Attraction goals.
this I made this very realistic for myself. I would say 2 agents per month for the first 6 months, and then 3 agents per month for the remaining 6 months.
So it's
It would
how
add
many
up to
does it mean? So 12,
12
and then
and 12 and 18.
okay,
So that would make it 30.
right.
So
So
30 agents
30
total.
agents. Do you want them all on your first line? You personally attract people, right?
Sure. Yeah, that's what it would be. I haven't attracted anyone as of yet. I have been working with a far relative who is with another agency, but yeah.
Okay. And how do you plan on accomplishing this?
I believe there are these attraction meetings through Zoom or
Yes.
in the EXP world as
Yes,
well.
we have it. We
So I
have
would like
one
to
on.
attend that to get to know a better way of doing it. But another thing that I saw when I was taking my state exam, there was a lady from Exit Realty standing outside and taking down everyone's information and sharing her business card.
So we're not supposed to just approach people cold like this. I think probably a better attraction thing would be to share your experience with the other agents that you meet, even if you don't meet them by appointment. When you're going to
Yeah.
follow up, like try to get to know that person and create a little bit of a relationship. I think that could be something good instead of just going cold at the test sites. It's a tough one. I'm going to tell you why. I think personally, just
Go
my
ahead.
little opinion, I think no way. First of all, is people taking the test. We don't know if they number one will pass that test.
Yeah.
Number two, they're not in business yet. Number three, knowing the fail rate in real estate, a lot of them won't make it within that first year. So I can go on and on and on. It's like it's not a very. I don't think it's a very effective way of attracting it.
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
it's a little outdated. It's
yeah.
like door knocking, but
Use the co-broke. Use industry events when we can do it. Use
yeah, I'll work
attend
on
other
that.
webinar. Try to befriend other agents on social media. That would be good. You know.
Yeah. Yeah. I need to work on more ideas where to get where to attract the agents from, how, and
Yeah.
I have been following people on Instagram.
Yeah, so someone says, and I didn't see, let me see who that agent is because I can see it on my. This was
Yeah.
great course. I am not getting everything, but it's good. Somebody is saying, yeah, just be yourself, share your experience with EXP. And this is really the most important. Connection with
Yeah.
the agent is great. Actually, it would be nice to hear from some of you guys who are listening to us. If you want to share, give some tips to Nigina and myself, I would really appreciate it.
I'll take all the tips you have.
Yeah, I know, right? And then let's finish up that agent attraction. What are the challenges I need to solve or improve implementing recruiting schedule? Know what to say, better follow up, or just start doing it? And I heard you say, Nigina, that you wanted to attend the presentations, right?
Yes. So the agent attraction presentations, I think we had one within the Alliance movement that was by Vincent Koo. And then I'm sure we have more in the EXP world.
Yes, and with not even the XP World, I think Carlos German from the Global Alliance has put up a little calendar of the different presentation we have from Jay Kinder. I think you can find, yes, you have some presentation in the world,
Yeah.
and you have some other presentations from people on the upline, and we can have access to that. And we will definitely post it on our social media groups. All right.
Sure.
And I guess this is it. It's 45 minutes. No one has a question. This is better for me. I was going to also, in order to put all those goals in perspective, I am going to add up let me just share this with all of you guys. I will share a calendar. So we were talking about the days that we're working, but more importantly is the days we're not working. Okay, and it's also good to actually put it down on paper right away. I'm going to give you guys this 2021 calendar. Some of the national holidays are already put in. You can add up your other religious holidays because those are also important. And start pinning down some downtime you want to have or vacation time, and that's always good. Put it down, see how it looks. You can speak to your spouse about it and actually make it happen, because yes, we're working like crazy, we're working all the time, but taking a little bit of time off is also good to resource and rejuvenate. And I'm talking to myself when I say that. And I think I'll take some personal time next year, because it was a little bit difficult last 220 for personal time because of personal things that happened, and where I think I'll take a couple of weeks of more down personal time this week just for me. All right, so thank you guys for participating in this. I'm gonna unshare, stop everything. Participating in this business planning. Thank you, Nigina. I really love your take on it. I love your spirit. I love the way you are and where you're going, and I know you're gonna be a superstar. So thank you for sharing with us.
Thank you so much for giving me this opportunity.
Thank you. Guys, don't hesitate to post your questions. Just help each other, growing and being better at it. And if you want to share your business plan with me or Vincent, be glad to hear from you guys. All right? Bye. Talk to you soon. Next week we're having another training with Olga. Bye, guys. Bye-bye.
See you soon.
Bye.